Hey, how's that, YouTube? Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. But I just won this NES slot. Here's one of the consoles that I won. Here is a second console. By the way, both of these exhibit the blinking power light according to the seller. Also with the lot was a zapper, a quick shot, and 2 NES Max controllers. Now the NES kind of holds a special place in my heart, even though again I'm a die-hard Sega fan. It's because we pretty much grew up on this, and I think it was the winter of 85 or 86 we got one for Christmas. Maybe it was 85, and we had the earlier consoles where the shell, this outer shell here, was totally smooth. It's not textured like this. I guess that was true for the earlier consoles. And by the way, 6 screws here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my first time to actually fix an NES. I've been wanting one for the longest time. I've been wanting to play my Contra cartridge that I got over 10 years back when I first started trying to get back my pre-Saturn games. It was with the Saturn where I kind of learned to actually just keep my consoles. So anything older than a Saturn, it's all not original from my collection. So, but yeah, I got that Contra game years back, probably in early 2000, where there was this retro game store out here, but that's unfortunately no longer here. But anyway, let's take a look inside. This just comes off, and looks like we have more screws here. Again, we'll be using our ice cube tray here from IKEA to keep track of where the screws go, just in case these screw lengths are different. So you can see here, I'm just gonna treat this like the shape of this. Since I took off the screw here, that goes here. This screw would go here and here, and we'll just keep the pattern. And checked on the internet what would cause a blinking power light, and it looks like it's gonna be the 72 pin connector that the cartridge couples up to. Before we go any further, I guess this would be a good time to give this a test. I'm using Super Mario Bros. 2, and we're using a Sega Genesis Model 1 power supply. I've read it's supposed to work and it's not going to damage the NES, so let's give it a shot. Okay, we see the classic blinking red light. What we used to do when we was kids, obviously, was blow in the cartridge or stick our slipper in to actually just press it like this. Just wedge your flip-flops in and it'll hold it. Then some games that was finicky, it would work. And we'll just go ahead and clean up the pin connector. Okay, it looks like this just comes straight up, and I believe this just pulls right off. And looks like this bottom shielding here also pulls off from the bottom. But we'll do a total teardown and cleaning after we get the red light issue fixed. And again, here's the culprit, and we'll clean the contacts out and lift some of these pins. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is try and bend some of these pins, these upper pins where the cartridge couples up to. And to do that, you just put it underneath the pin like this, and I'm using a safety pin. Okay, found my copy of Contra, one of my all-time favorites. Alright! Everything's working. And I think all we need to do now is to clean up the console. So yeah, that was a pretty easy fix. but it was such a thrill to see those games fire up. Brings back a ton of memories. Contra, I remember doing some speed runs, and for Super Mario 2, just hearing the music, I can just picture myself playing on our old TV, playing with my brother and our friends that used to come over every time. We was super young back then, you know, still in elementary. Here's the cleaned board. Shitty-ass lesson to learn is that the Nintendo, the logo here on the door, wipes straight off if you get alcohol near this. Learn this lesson from me. Do not wipe this with alcohol. Only disappointment is the logo has wiped off. Again, do not get alcohol anywhere near the logo. The only other major blemish is the chip right here. All in all, pretty satisfied. Now I have an NES to actually play with. You know, I've played NES games that I had before on emulation. You really can't compare the experience with the actual hardware and the actual control pad in hand. Pretty magical. Peace.